if ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you? So if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and
brace yourselves, because we're diving into one of the most iconic comedic takedowns of Hollywood's self-righteousness. Ricky Gervais, the master of unapologetic humor, has made it his signature move to call out woke celebrities, Hollywood elites, and those who use their fame to preach to the masses. It's pure gold, a razor-sharp comedic critique that smashes through the pretentiousness of awards shows like a wrecking ball.
Many talented people of colour were snubbed in major categories. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist. So, fifth time. So, as you know, the meal tonight was all vegetables, as are the members of the Hollywood foreign press.
Let's talk about Ricky Gervais's iconic Golden Globes monologue. If you haven't seen it, here's the scene. A room packed with Hollywood's finest, dressed to impress and ready for a night of mutual backpatting. Then Ricky takes the stage and delivers a reality check. You lot don't have a clue about real life? The room, dead silent. Ricky didn't hold back, calling out actors and directors who use their speeches to preach politics, bluntly reminding them they're hardly qualified to lecture anyone. The kicker? Most of you have spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. Ouch indeed.
If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg.
That's a burn that leaves a lasting mark. For context, Greta Thunberg is a young climate activist, which makes Ricky's jab hit even harder. If you haven't lived enough of real life, maybe skip the lectures. And let's face it, he's not wrong. Some celebrities act like their fame automatically qualifies them as experts on every global issue. But Ricky doesn't just point it out, he drops the ultimate mic line. Take your little award, thank your agent, thank your God, and move on. Translation, stick to what you know and spare us the preaching.
If you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God,
And here's where things get even juicier. Ricky doesn't stop at roasting the celebrities. He takes aim at the Hollywood bigwigs too. Yes, the power players behind the scenes. He calls out the irony of their wokeness while living in constant fear of Ronan Farrow. If you don't know, Farrow is the journalist who exposed the Harvey Weinstein scandal, uncovering some of Hollywood's darkest truths. Ricky doesn't mince words. He warns them bluntly, he's coming for you. The message? Even the execs in their luxurious offices aren't safe from accountability.
Tonight isn't just about the people in front of the camera. In this room are some of the most important TV and film executives in the world. People from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. He's coming for you.
Ricky doesn't hold back. He takes it up another notch. He flat out calls them perverts and jokes about how it's been a big year for pedophile movies, referencing hard-hitting documentaries like Surviving R. Kelly and Leaving Neverland. And just to crank up the tension, he slips in a sly dig at the two popes, a not-so-subtle nod to the Catholic Church abuse scandals. No subject is too taboo, and Ricky serves it all with his trademark brutal honesty.
Look at all you perverts. It was a big year. It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care.
The crowd was visibly uncomfortable, but Ricky, he couldn't care less. Imagine being one of those Hollywood bigwigs, sitting there squirming as he openly accuses the entire industry of harboring predators. That's Ricky's brilliance. He says what everyone's thinking but is too afraid to voice. Popular in Hollywood? Definitely not. Does he care? Absolutely not. But it gets even spicier. Ricky didn't stop at the execs. He took aim at none other than Caitlyn Jenner. Yes, Caitlyn, formerly known as Bruce Jenner, one of the world's most famous trans women. When accused of dead-naming Caitlyn, referring to someone by their pre-transition name, did Ricky backpedal? Not a chance. Instead, he leaned into the controversy, quipping, I didn't even know dead naming was a thing, but now I've learned my lesson. Classic Ricky, provocative, unapologetic, and always ready to
learn, and I found out my crime was that I dead named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name and even acknowledging that she used to be a man.
And just when you think Ricky might actually deliver a heartfelt apology, he flips the script with a punchline. But I used to watch him in the Olympics. He was a huge guy with a huge, well, I don't know. Boom. Classic Ricky. Instead of backing down, he doubles down with his trademark humor, leaving the crowd caught between stunned silence and nervous laughter.
I saw him on the Olympic Games. It was decathlon. It was in everything. He was all over the place. Shot put and pole vault. He won a medal. He was famous. He was on telly all the time. But, a big, famous man with a huge, I don't know, but I'm guessing he's a big, but I've learned my lesson. Now, I'd never dead name her now. Now I know it's wrong. I'd never dead name her.
That's the genius of RickyGervais. He walks the fine line between offensive and brutally honest while keeping it undeniably funny. He pokes fun at the concept of dead naming, highlighting what he sees as the absurdity of erasing someone's past identity entirely. For Ricky, transitioning doesn't mean pretending someone's life before didn't exist. Love him or hate him, you can't deny he brings a sharp comedic lens to how we navigate these topics in today's hypersensitive culture. And in true Ricky fashion, he doesn't stop there. He takes it up a notch with a wild joke about how he's always identified as a chimpanzee. So from now on, he quips, "Everyone better call me Bobo." Yep, Bobo. It's outrageous, it's ridiculous, and it's exactly the kind of boundary-pushing humor you'd expect from Ricky.
And if that's the rules, you are what you feel. If you feel you're a woman, that makes you a woman. Cool. I'm not one of these bigots that think having all that done is science going too far. In fact, I don't think it's going far enough. Because I've always identified as a chimp, right? Well, I am a chimp. If I say I'm a chimp, I am a chimp. Don't ever dead name me. Don't ever call me Ricky Gervais again. From now on, you call me Bobo. So
that's classic Ricky, calling out what he sees as the absurdity of some identity debates. His chimpanzee bit, it's his way of saying, sure, you can ask to be called something, but don't be surprised when people find the humor in it. It's Ricky Gervais. Did we expect anything less? But he doesn't stop there. Oh no, he's just warming up. Next, he takes aim at Hollywood actors and their relentless obsession with pushing political agendas. You know the type? Celebrities. On Instagram or Twitter, lecturing the masses about who to vote for, all while subtly implying you're a terrible person if you disagree. Ricky's had enough. He even posted a parody video mocking the trend, pretending to be one of those self-righteous influencers. With dripping sarcasm, he says, "As a celebrity, I obviously know everything about science and politics, so let me tell you who to vote for." It's peak Ricky, biting, sarcastic, and hilariously on point.
Guys, Ricky G here, wellness and beauty influencer. As a celebrity, I know all about stuff, like science and politics. So trust me when I tell you who you should vote for. If you don't vote the right way, it's like a hate crime. It makes me sad and angry, and I'll leave the country. And you don't want that.
It's pure genius. Ricky takes a sharp jab at influencer culture, where celebrities assume their fame makes them experts on everything from politics to climate change. The fact that his parody went viral proves how many people are tired of Hollywood elites acting like they have the moral high ground. What sets Ricky apart, though, is that he doesn't just mock individual celebrities, he takes on the entire Hollywood system. Remember his brutal joke, "If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent?" That one landed hard, highlighting the uncomfortable truth. Hollywood's real priority isn't morality, it's money.
If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you?
Exactly. Ricky perfectly exposes the hypocrisy of these so-called woke celebrities who lecture the world on morality while gladly working with massive corporations like Apple and Amazon, which have their own questionable practices. It's like they're preaching social responsibility, yet they're totally fine partnering with companies criticized for everything from labor exploitation to environmental harm. Ricky calls out that double standard, making it clear that these celebrities might want to rethink the companies they're backing before they start preaching to the rest of us.
Probably know me as the creator of The Office. No, you don't, do you? You think Steve Carell did it all? Oh, he's brilliant, isn't he, Steve Carell? He's amazing as the bumbling office manager. Where does he get his ideas from? Let's pay.
Exactly. It's easy to preach about human rights from the stage when your paycheck is coming from companies with a track record of exploiting workers. Ricky sees right through that and isn't afraid to call these celebrities out. He pulls no punches. And of course, no Ricky Gervais moment would be complete without a dig at his old friend Steve Carell. On the surface, their back and forth might seem like lighthearted banter, but there's a sharp edge to it. After all, Ricky created The Office, the show that turned Steve into a star. Ricky never misses a chance to remind everyone of that. It's all part of their playful yet pointed dynamic.
He was a jobbing actor, career not going that well if I'm being totally honest, who got his big break when I cast him in a remake of a show that I created called The Office. He's now leaving that show and killing a cash cow for both of us. Please welcome the wonderful Tina Fey and the ungrateful Steve Carell.
Whoa, absolutely! Those jabs at Steve Carell might seem like lighthearted teasing, but there's always a grain of truth behind Ricky's humor. He's poking fun at Steve for leaving The Office when it was at its peak, essentially walking away from a goldmine. It's all wrapped in comedy, but Ricky's genius lies in blending humor with real-life frustrations. That combination of truth and comedy is what makes his roasts so cutting and memorable.
Give me it. I'll tickle you. I don't care. I've got nothing to lose here. I'm a nobody here. Where is it? Yes, you have. Stop. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Give me it. Give me the Emmy.
So what's the takeaway here? Ricky Gervais isn't afraid to stir the pot, especially when it comes to exposing Hollywood's hypocrisy. Whether he's calling out woke culture, political grandstanding, or the inflated egos of actors, no one is safe from his razor-sharp humor. He's the guy who says what we're all thinking, but are too afraid to voice. Now, here's the big question. Is Ricky just being brutally honest, or is he crossing the line? Does Hollywood need more voices like his to highlight its contradictions, or is he just causing controversy for the sake of it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown of Ricky's savage truth bombs, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss what's coming next.